Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. Today we started off with a hot seat race in the Xfinity series for Stewart-Haas Racing. We actually qualified on the pole on the 00 color. The goal was to get a top 3 finish, so I was pretty confident with that. I actually had to turn the AI down a bit though, because Xfinity or just any series at Las Vegas is incredibly hard for me for some reason, so I turned the AI down a bit. But we started on pole as Jeffrey Earnhardt would put on the pressure there on the inside. Last episode it said it was supposed to be JRM, but obviously I had restarted the game since then, so it was over to Stewart-Haas Racing. So if we complete this top 3, we could be at Stewart-Haas Racing next season, possibly in the Xfinity series full time there as we came out of turn 4, leading our first ever lap here in the NASCAR Xfinity series. But that lead wouldn't last very long, because as we came through now on lap 4, this is only an 8-lap race. Austin Cindric in the number 22 car put on the pressure and had looked to my inside as we came through turns 1 and turn 2, getting a little bit sideways, giving up the lead there to Austin Cindric down the back straightaway. Tyler Reddick came through, Michael Annett came through as well. So losing the lead, but really just the top 3 is all that we need to get. So as we came through, approaching the final lap, Cindric had lost the lead. We had gone past him for 3rd, and now we're in the goal position as we come through to start the final lap here in Las Vegas. Tyler Reddick leading the way with Michael Annett in 2nd place as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2, deciding to run my most comfortable line on the track, hoping that I don't make a silly mistake as we come through the center of the corner. Now on the exit of turn 2, heading down this back straightaway, Christopher Bell putting on a little bit of pressure there as we go down towards turn 3, and to the corner we go, and there goes the one car sideways in front of us. We make a little bit of contact, but he hangs on to it now as we come through on the exit of the 4th turn. It's going to be Tyler Reddick winning in Vegas. We're going to come through to get a runner-up finish in the Xfinity race here at Las Vegas. So a very, very strong result here for us in the Xfinity series. This will now give us 2 5-star teams in the Xfinity series to choose from for next season. But now it's time to start the playoffs for the Truck Series. We're locked in to the playoffs, obviously, with 2 wins. I forgot to show the playoff grid coming into this race, so you're going to have to wait till after Bristol to see this playoff grid. But we go straight into Bristol, a track that I have quite a bit of confidence coming into. We've had great runs in NASCAR Heat 3 at Bristol, and NASCAR Heat 2, even Heat Evolution, so I was very confident coming into this race here at Bristol Motor Speedway to get ready to take the green flag. This was our best qualifying effort of the season, so like I said, very confident coming into this one now as the green flag is out here in Bristol, and we are on the way for the first race of the playoffs as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. For the first time we got Brett Moffitt on the pole, and then we had Ben Rhodes on the 2nd position as we head down this back straightaway into turns 3 and turns 4 for the first time here at Bristol. Already up inside the top 5, obviously, passing Ross Chastain to take over the 4th position as we go down towards turns 1 of the inside now of the 99 of Ben Rhodes for Thor Sport Racing. As we head down this back straightaway, we would be able to get past him, and we would also send it up the inside, and we would be able to get past Johnny Sauter and get up to P2 as we started the final lap in this first stage. Obviously still pretty short races in the playoffs as we go down towards turns 3 and turn 4 for I should correct myself now, as we would exit turn 4 though, barely holding off Grant Enfinger to get the 2nd position in the first and opening stage. Brett Moffitt with the stage victory. He's in the playoffs, so obviously he's going to be a competitor we have to deal with, but we're hoping to turn it up a notch for the playoffs as we get ready to start stage 2. And here in Bristol, and the green flag is back out side by side on the front row with Brett Moffitt. We still have yet to win a stage this season, but if we can play our cards right here in stage 2, we could change that now as we exit turn 2 side by side for the lead with Moffitt as we go down into turns 3. The outside obviously being my preferred lane, but Moffitt makes the bottom work. So we get in right behind him, look to the inside of him as we make a little bit of contact with his bumper. He goes for a slight slide into turns 1, and now we look up the inside of Brett Moffitt for the lead position down the back straightaway, and we are going to clear the 24 of Brett Moffitt into turn 3. A little bit up the hill we go, but we would hang on to it as we came into turn 4, and we would be able to hang on to now lap 6 of 6 in stage 2. Harrison Burton had driven up into the 2nd position as we went down into turns 3 and turns 4, but he didn't quite have enough as we would come through on the exit of turn 4 to get stage victory number 1 on the season. The right time to pick it up, it looks like now, as we pick up an extra playoff point, at least for the next round, as we would obviously not need to pit, and we would get ready to start the 3rd and final stage here at Bristol now as the green flag is back out, and we are underway. Myself and Harrison Burton, 2 rookies on the front row as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Only 10 laps here in this 3rd and final stage as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway, just making sure I don't make a silly mistake as we go down into turn 3, sending it in just a little bit deep now as I cover Harrison Burton off on that bottom lane as we exit turn 4, leading the lap. And as we came through to just 5 laps to go, I had moved up the track a little bit, and it seemed to actually help as I started pulling away from the field. As I was running the bottom at the beginning of the stage, and I wasn't pulling away, but once I moved up top, it certainly seemed to work a little bit better. But towards the end of this race, Harrison Burton would start to close the gap just a little bit on me as we came through with just 2 laps to go, approaching the white flag here in Bristol. 2 wins in our rookie season so far, and if we can hang on, it will be 3 now as we come through the exit of turns 2. Heading down the back straightaway, it's actually Ben Rhodes up in the second place as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in the first race of the Truck Series playoffs. We will come through to get win number 3 on the season.
Checkered flags in the air. It's yours.
A great result for us here to start the Truck Series playoffs. Career win number 3 in the Truck Series. Like I said in the last episode, it's been a really up and down season. We've had wins, obviously, but we've had some tracks that we just go to and we suck at. Pocono, Las Vegas, Texas, those are kind of the main tracks that we have not done well at all. Still, like I said, trying to find the balance with the AI, but there you see the finishing order. Sheldon Creed rounded out the top 10, and you will see the playoff grid here just in a moment now as we make $31,000. But there's the playoff grid. We're already locked into the next round. Ross Chastain 5 points out, Spencer Boyd 8 points out, going into my home race of Canada. So we get to do some road course racing here for the second race of the playoffs. A track, obviously, that I'm excited for, is being my home track. Canada is obviously my home country. This track is about an hour and 45 minutes or so away from me. So hopefully we can bring a home victory here to us today in Canada now as the green flag is out and we are underway here from the 9th starting position. We actually qualified P10. So now as we go down towards turns 1, obviously some road course racing here in the Truck Series. The only time we get to do a road course race on this season gives us a little bit of experience getting ready for the Xfinity Series next season, when obviously we have, I think, 3 or 4 road courses on that schedule now as we come through these first few corners right behind Harrison Burton. We're going to look over to the right-hand side, and now we're going to make it 3 wide with Burton and both Kligerman as we went down into the next corner. We had already worked our way up into the top 5 as we came through the right-hander, getting past just about Clay Greenfield. He tries to hang on the left side, but doesn't quite have enough as we go down towards the little left bend, and there you see the front 2 runners, Crafton and Moffitt, both going off the track. Crafton slides back on, and that's going to end the stage for some reason, as they would put out the caution. It's only 2-lap stages again here in Canada, so that would end stage 1 about a lap and 3/4 early. So we would get P4 and get ready to go green now as stage 2 would be underway here in Canada. Obviously I will be jumping up the race lengths. Like I've said, the race length in Xfinity will probably be maybe still 13% actually, but maybe 25%. Obviously in the Cup Series it will be 25%, but we would get past Todd Gilliland here on that restart, but he would fight back on the right hand side. He would get back past me as we went down now towards this left-hander. So Gilliland showing some speed now as the leader. Crafton goes on 2 wheels, slides off the course, through the grass, off the track he goes. And he goes from leading to now in the barrier. No caution is thrown for that one, even though that one was much more significant than the opening lap incident there. As we would continue behind Todd Gilliland now, approaching the final lap in stage 2. Right on his back bumper, nearly getting into him now as we head down this front straightaway. A gap between myself and Moffitt now as we head down towards turns 1. Spinning goes the 4 of Todd Gilliland from the lead as we go through turns 1, and that will surprisingly end the stage and credit us with the stage victory. A wild race here in Canada so far, living up to the relay pipe, and now as we would lead the way here for the final stage. But I think one thing I learned is that for cautions at road courses we need to turn it down to not strict cautions, because I always raced with strict cautions on, but we'll definitely have to turn them down for the road courses here in the future. But we would jump out to an early lead here in stage 1. We came to straight to 2 laps to go, and I was had a pretty comfortable gap over second place of Todd Gilliland, but he had actually started to close in the gap on me as I started to make a few mistakes here and there. So we come through to the first, maybe approaching second sector now of this final lap. There we go, once again making another mistake through the right hand, is getting up on 2 wheels, and now Todd Gilliland is right there within a few car lengths, trying to put the pressure on us here on this final final lap. We won at Bristol to start the playoffs. We have a chance to go back-to-back again with a home win here in Canada. And now as we go down this final long back straightaway, Gilliland within striking distance. If I make a mistake now as we pass under the Canadian Tire's little bridge there, as we go down through into this final part of this course, a little bit of a mistake, but we do hang on to it now as Gilliland closes in through the penultimate corner, down into the final corner, but it's not going to be enough from Todd Gilliland as we exit the final turn. For the final time, we will win our home race in Canada. Back-to-back wins to start off the playoffs. We now have 4 wins on our rookie season here in the Truck Series, so cannot complain at all about that, as I just screwed up the burnout and hit the wall now as you have to throw it into reverse, but a great race. Once we got to the lead, it kind of got boring, unfortunately for you guys, but a great way to start this round, as once again I completely screw up the burnout. But now that would set us up for the final race here of this round as we get ready to decide the final 6 drivers that will remain in the playoffs. It's going to Las Vegas. I was very concerned about this one because I suck at Las Vegas. Like I said, I had to turn the AI down in the Xfinity hot seat just to have a fighting chance at Las Vegas, though, as the green flag is out and the final race of this round is underway as we're going to get on the apron, side drive Gus Dean right off the bat and get ahead of him as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2 for this first time here in Vegas. It's Ross Chastain leading the way, and I can say that coming into this race, Chastain was outside of the cut line. I forgot to show that once again. Now as we head down this back straightaway on the inside of Harrison Burton as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 behind Austin Hill there. Brett Moffitt on the 24 running up top by the wall, but we would be able to climb up now, still P7 on this final lap in stage 1. 3 wide up the middle with a half a lap to go in stage 1 as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4. There you see some great racing here on this final lap in the stage through turns 3 and turns 4, getting a little bit sideways as we exit the corner, and now we're going to come through the trial to get P7 in stage 2. A solid result, but I was very concerned that the pace was going to go away later in this race, as I think the biggest mistake I'm making right now is I'm putting on pretty much one of the two loosest preset setups, and I feel like in the long run that is really costing me. But it's just, I really like driving a loose race car, but I feel like that's really affecting us in the long run, so we might have to play around with some stuff here a little bit. But now obviously the green flag is out here in this second stage, starting in P7 up to P6 now as we look to the inside of our teammate of Tyler Ankrum, who is I believe in the playoffs if I remember correctly now, as we go down this back straightaway, moving up inside of the top 5. So a very strong start for us here in these first opening stages in Las Vegas as we would come through now to the final lap in the stage, looking to the outside of Todd Gilliland, still trying to stay in the top 5 as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. Stuart Friesen had taken the lead at this point as we came through on the exit of turns 4. It was going to be Friesen who would win the stage as we try to cross over the 4 of Gilliland as we come through to cross the line, but Gilliland gets us at the line and we get P6 here in stage 2, which leaves just one more stage for someone to try and fight their way in to the next round of the playoffs for the round of 6 as we get ready to go green, and the green flag is out for the final stage here in Las Vegas. The sun has set and we are underway with 10 laps to go in this first round of the playoffs. We have no worries at all as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. We won the first 2 races, so if anything goes wrong, we are at least locked into that next round with at least 11 or 12 playoff points on our name after the first 2 great races for us at Bristol and Canada, making it 3 wide down the back straightaway though as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4, being pretty aggressive as I jump up to the top, and that's going to be a mistake as we get into the wall a little bit. And we lose some ground, and now as we came through on lap 17, we had started to once again lose the pace as we came through, now dropping down to P9, trying to make a pass on Todd Gilliland, who had also fallen down a little bit, but I just didn't quite have it enough for him as he would be able to fight me off the exit of the corner and get clear of me. So we come to just 2 laps to go at this point. Tyler Dibble getting past me now as we get very sideways on the exit of turn 2. Contact with Jordan Anderson on my inside as we go down this back straightaway. The handling of the car fading quickly, and as we came out of turn 4, another big mistake as I would slide again through the grass this time and down through the infield we go. No caution's going to come out as this was the start of the final lap. But just like I said earlier, the loosest setup really not very good to go with, because in the long run the car just loosens up so much that it's a really big mistake. So we would come through on the exit of turn 4. I'd let those trucks get past me, as once again we lose the back end and hit the wall, and we would come through to finish in dead last here to finish off the round of 8 in the playoffs. So obviously we can afford that right now. We have gotten the 2 wins in Canada and Bristol in advance, but there you see Matt Crafton and Spencer Boyd both have been eliminated from the playoffs after today in Las Vegas. So now we have another 3 races, so I'm going to show all of the next round once again in the next episode, then the final race at Miami. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. That will do it for this episode, so I will see you guys in the next one, and have yourselves a great day, everyone.